Hey everyone, I'm at the Commons Climbing Gym up on the bench in Boise. I'm gonna get some belay instruction and learn the ropes here so I don't hurt myself when I do a bit of climbing here in just a sec, so stay tuned. It's not really recommended that you climb in Birkenstocks, so my climbing instructor got me a nice pair of shoes. You want them to be snug in the toe, but not so tight that it hurts when you walk. And putting on the harness, pretty simple, just like putting on your pants one leg at a time. You want to pull it above your waist, cinch it up tight across your stomach and on your legs there. You don't want it so tight that it will restrict your movement though. Sarah here is showing me how to use the auto belay. It's the only safe way to climb the walls by yourself. You want to make sure you give it a couple tugs before you head up to make sure it's retracting correctly. And when you head back to the ground, you want to secure that auto belay so it doesn't go flying to the ceiling and you're all embarrassed and have to grab a staff member to get it for you. Most of the routes on the high walls require a belay partner, and Sarah here showed me how to hold the rope correctly. You want to make sure you have one hand on the rope at all times, and you keep the rope tight as your partner climbs, so if they slip and fall, you can lower them to the ground safely. After my lesson, I attached myself to the auto belay and headed up one of the routes. I don't think my technique was too bad. I'm not nearly as good as the seasoned climbers that frequent the gym, but I did make it to the top twice. I definitely need to work on my rappel technique though. On this first time down, I didn't go very smooth and ended up falling. I hope nobody noticed. Overall, I really enjoyed my time at the Commons. There's plenty of routes to tackle, especially if you have a belay partner. And the setters do a fantastic job. It's cool to watch them work, replacing the footholds and handholds to create new routes. I didn't end up doing any bouldering, but they do have an awesome bouldering section of the gym. A few weeks before I went climbing at the Commons, I spoke with one of the gym's owners about the gym's history and how it survived through COVID.
I'm Caldwell. We opened February 20th of 2020. Because of COVID, we closed our doors exactly 4 weeks later. We were able to open in May and have remained open since. The community's been awesome. It's been fantastic to be able to climb with folks and start introducing more and more people to the sport of climbing. There was another gym called Ascent that some of you maybe have seen. That gym was closed for a variety of reasons. A group of us from that community decided to pool our resources. There's 7 owners here. So this was an office complex. There were 2 separate buildings that we connected. We raised one of the buildings 45 feet on the outside, but we were able to go down 3 feet. So we have 48 feet in here. All our walls are 45 feet tall. And then in the other building, we also went down 3 feet. And so we have 19-foot high ceilings in the other building. We gutted both of these buildings, refinished everything, and put in climbing stuff and fitness area. And we've got a yoga and a dance studio down on the end, cardio equipment, weights, and then a lot of climbing specific training stuff. When Urban closed, we had a whole bunch of people come to us, like hundreds of people come to us and say, hey, when are you opening a gym? And that was honestly the motivation and continues to be the motivation. That's why we chose the name of the Commons. It's a place of or belonging to the community where the community can come meet and hang out, and that is our ethos, and that's what we strive to be. It's been really fantastic because we have had a lot of great feedback from our membership of, aside from home, this is the other place I go. That means a lot. Our membership actually supported us through our closure. Most of them kept their memberships, which allowed us to pay our employees and our mortgage. We have taken COVID-19 very seriously. There's a really cool research study that just came out a couple months ago that talks about how magnesium carbonate, which is climbing chalk, it actually eliminates like 99% of COVID-19 on contact, which was a huge relief for us because we do a really good job of sanitizing surfaces, of wearing masks in here. Our air system circulates the air every about 20 minutes. We have people wash hands when they come in. We take their temperatures. It's been a huge boon, and actually kind of makes us feel like we might be one of the better places to hang out, which is fortunate amidst all this misfortune, I guess. I'm from Missoula, Montana, and I went to undergrad there. I did an undergrad in geology, so obviously I was drawn towards rocks and mountains and high places. So right at the end of undergrad, I met a friend that climbed a lot, and I went on a couple climbing trips and then came down to Boise for graduate school. I have a master's in geophysics from BSU, and that's kind of where I started climbing in earnest, I would say. Honestly, it's changed my life. And what's so cool is I think it's changed a lot of people's lives. It's kind of one of those sports that is more like a lifetime activity, and you build such a strong community and sense of friendship. I feel really fortunate to have found climbing because it like satisfies all of the physicalness, but you get to solve this puzzle on the wall. Climbing by its very nature is community-based. You generally need partners to climb. And so you develop these really deep lifetime friendships. I've lost 20 pounds since I was 19 or 20 and lifting all the time. And I honestly think my 33-year-old self would make my 18-year-old self jealous, which is a pretty cool feeling. I do train for climbing, which involves some like weighted pull-ups and explosive type campusing and things like that. We pride ourselves on being able to take someone who's never climbed before and have them come in and have a fantastic time and convert them into a lifelong climber. One of our biggest supporters is in her late 60s. She just found climbing as a 62-year-old, and she loves it. She goes climbing probably more than I do.
My name's Nathan Duncanson. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Been out here in Idaho for about 2 years now. Been climbing since I was 8 years old. Started with the Boy Scouts, then just started doing it with a bunch of friends and a lot like that. Became a climbing instructor, and now I just do it for fun a couple days a week because I can. I was really wanting to get back into a gym setting, and so I searched around gyms, and this was one of the 3 places that came up. And just the atmosphere here was perfect. It's small. I wasn't looking for a ton of crowd or anything like that. Good routes, and then even just reading them and looking into what their setters do, they do a fantastic job. So I used to do a lot of indoor and outdoor climbing when I was younger, back home in Tennessee and in the Arkansas area. I don't have a lot of my outdoor gear here, so I'm hoping just to stick with getting back into it on the indoor setting and eventually next summer go outdoor. Right now it's just getting it back into the field, getting different muscle groups worked back up that you don't use in your daily life. My wife, she found a job here teaching, so I said, what's in Idaho? She showed me national forest and rivers, and I said, okay, let's move to Idaho. A gorgeous area, I would say definitely a great place to check out, and the amount of climbing that is outdoor as well that's close by. I mean, you've got routes within 3 hours drive. I used to have to drive 7-8 hours back home to get any sort of good climbing, and now it's, you know, just down the road it feels like. So it's awesome having it close by. So if this is the atmosphere and that's the kind of stuff you like to do, this is a great place to do it.